The stony gaze of the gargoyle holds you fast. Gravel rumbles.
Stranger, you enter topsy-turvy. Welcome home.
Do you ever wonder if your lizard empire still stands?
I need not wonder.
As you enter the room, you see 3 skeletons sitting around a table, cards in hand. They creak and turn to stare at you.
Another cadaver? Clearly we were not the only ones to suffer Braccus's wrath.
The more your skull cracks, the less sense you make, Rask. Use your sight. He's drenched in sauce.
I am sporting a face with more gems than you've mites. Braccus would see us made emperors before he locks away a prize like that. You a jailer then, darling? Here to keep an eye socket on these old bones? Aye, sounds about right. It's more than a moon cycle, and just shy of an eon, for sure. But I ain't been keeping track.
The human undead leans in, studying you suspiciously.
You're not one of Braccus's brood. You're not Gratiana's pet. Then why do you disturb us?
The creature yearns for our secrets. Did I not say that word would spread of our genius?
Even after the maggots took your tongue, you still talk too much. Silence your jaw.
You pretend you have never heard of the progeny of Rask? Of the devilish weapons I crafted for Braccus Rex when I called him Lord? You see? Even the gibbering humans have heard of me. They know that no other weapon could stand against...
Oh, truly, Rask, your brilliance knows no bounds. Perhaps this century your genius mind will come up with a way to escape.
By my scales, Tamsin, must you go on? Braccus locked my inventions away with your toys. Had I but one...
The harlot Gratiana, once she'd had us flayed, she poured poisonous words in Braccus's ear until it wasn't enough to just kill us. He also locked our spirits away in soul jars.
Our souls are lashed to this plane, never to enjoy the rest of the Hall of Echoes. It ain't the afterlife I had planned, if I'm honest. I was sure there'd be no drinking.
Destroying the soul jars that bind us here.
But beware. They are found in a treasure vault guarded by traps of a cunning not seen in 1,000...
By the horns of Valkyrie, if you design one reasonable trap and won't shut up about it for centuries.
And thine were better. Couldst thou have brought forth such cunning use of light?
Oh, mine did not constantly disintegrate the labourers building them.
The fault was in thine zombies. The worms in your skull follow instruction better than they.
Cliff a joker, that man. We design a fault of brilliant cunning and he hides our soul jars in it. As for us, we get a tower.
We have spent centuries trying to escape this tower, but our power was...
At least until your gorgeous self opened the door. Now we just need the source from your pretty little corpse. I've had a
your maker. Strange. Did I just kill you?
Nor your...
Hang on. I've killed you twice now. 3 times makes the charm.
Thou canst not force me to remain down.
Not now.
To sip a drink from the soul jar, to sing of good times and better times.
The jar seems quieter now. The jar.
Beautiful. Thank you.
The pictograms on the jar stand, you see.
Farewell to flesh. Farewell to bone.
The jar stands before you. A human spirit.
Eternal thanks, young one.
heard something. Something seemed to move into place.
Among the long crumbled remains of the You approach a decrepit well and stare down.
Thirst.
The well is now filled to the brim with fresh, cool water, but what it has brought to the surface quickly evaporates. You see the tangled remains of 3 corpses, a mixed mass of bones and skin, from which 3 skulls.
We thank you for the water. We bless you, the king. The king, Braccus Rex, the madman with the crown. Wrath and terror. We displeased the king. The truth we spoke. His fortune told. No divinity would he be. And so he entangled our bodies and cursed our throats. Smote the brothers of Baladur. We thank you for the water. We bless you for the water. The fair spare us coin. Sweet savior. We thank you at Pathkeeper.
Laden with a...
You have done me a great service. Now, allow me. It shall be done.
Too heavy. Won't budge.
You approach the still body and see it's not. As you lean in close, it lurches forward.
And? Have you found them? Did you bring the soul? Then why do you tap? And? Have you found them? You have? That's wonderful, of course. But they are relics of great power. Please, you must give them to me. If I can make an offering of them to Armadia, it could aid your cause.
She reaches greedily for the jar, tearing the cap off. You see a green glowing light emerge from the jar, enveloping Gratiana.
By Armadia, I feel wet. Oh, Goddess, I can feel your tears upon my face. I suppose you deserve to know. Before I knew Armadia's grace, I was a very different person. I was the concubine of Braccus Rex. But more than his lover, I was his partner. I discovered his power to feed on the source of others, and I allowed it to... No, I made it happen. You don't understand. No one understands. My heart held such fear, but with Braccus, I was safe. He needed me, and I needed him. As his strength grew, so too did mine. There is nothing you cannot do when you sit on the lap of a powerful king. And I did it all. But power changes a man, as he changes his nation. Braccus grew paranoid, angry, murderous. I tried not to see it. I told myself it was fine, that the stronger he became, the stronger I was. What stupid lies. I gave him more and more, trying to win him back to me. I offered him the source of whole villages. He devoured them and demanded more. The lands outside were once green and beautiful, until I came, until I turned them over to him. Now all's poison, and the dead are restless.
Go home. We'll be safe.
Armadia is merciful in her love. I found this shrine while hunting a band of wizards.
I found the goddess weeping for her children, and I wept too.
She pauses for a moment. If she had...
Through Armadia, I saw my sins, and I could bear it no longer. I threw myself from the cliff at the entrance. I tried to rid the world of my evil, but Braccus would not allow it. He brought me back from the Hall of Echoes, locked my soul away, and demanded my obedience. Even in death, he commanded me. Only when 2 source hunters ended his curse was I free. Since then, I have returned here and spent centuries trying to heal the pain I've caused. And now...
She drops the now empty soul jar to the ground, smashing it to pieces with her foot.
You have my thanks, brother.
He'll take care of us.
Thank you for your wisdom and for your bravery. Go in Armadia's grace, friend.
I'm glad you're back, sir. We all are.
The young man fidgets with his armor and half-sword excitedly. He sees you approach.
Was it you who saved Sir Gareth? 7 now with...
Did you see? He's here to take us home.
Divine blessings. It's good to see Gareth safe and sound.
The young man has abandoned the maps and now prepares his armor with happy urgency. He sees you approach.
Glad you're with us, Leia.
Thank you. You were missed.
It's peaceful here, but I'll not be sorry to see the back of these swamps.
We'll go home. We'll be safe. We won't have to fear again.
It's peaceful here, but I'll not be sorry to see the back of these swamps.
Thank you. Now... Void woken, we meet again. beasts are damn persistent.
They can keep calling us vermin, but we'll just keep putting them down.
Vermin, thieves, pests, leeches. This world is ours. Fall, die, pass away. Your essence feed. You will not be spared. Your time is up. Squash the vermin. Hang the thieves. Ours. Ours. You are ours. We are the many and the all. We were first. We were first.
such barbarism. What happened here? Smoke, blood, and carnage. The Magisters didn't spare a single seeker.
Blessed Ahmad, grant these soldiers your protection.
You come at last. I'd no doubt you'd find your way to us. Not after witnessing your bravery. I know you seek answers. I'll tell you what I can. You have spoken to a god?
Gareth stares intently, not so much at you as through you.
Yes, I see something there. And something else besides. But it's not for me to say. I must get you to Malady. She will know. She was imprisoned on the Lady Vengeance. One of the few of us not left to rot on the sand and sun. All the more vital we take the ship from the Magisters. Godwoken. We'd just landed on shore. Minutes later, Dallas sailed in on the Lady Vengeance, screaming like a banshee. We had no hope. Most of us were dead in the blink of an eye. She had horrors at her side. Shriekers, they call them. They still protect the harbor, firing pure death at anything that catches their eyes. The Lady Vengeance is still anchored there too. Lucian, save us from whatever plot Dallas is concocting on it. Well, I had a plan. Gratiana told me of weapons that could counter these shriekers. Purging ones that steal source from its host. I went to that armory looking for one of these wands, but Alexander's bootlickers stumbled in first. I found nothing but dust and blood. We've got to find a way to silence those shriekers. If we do that, the Lady Vengeance is ours. Freedom is ours. I can't imagine anyone more capable. Lucian truly shines his light on you. See Gratiana. She knows every songbird and blade of grass on this isle. The Lady Vengeance waits offshore, ready to sail for... You do? But that's incredible! I can only imagine what ghoul-ridden depths you braved to find one. I had no doubt. You bring me hope, sorcerer. I'll gather the other seekers and travel to shore.
Gareth's voice echoes throughout the Enclave with such command it could rouse a fawn to action.
We move, seekers. Now is the time.
Frozen ground in the middle of a swamp. What's going on? A winter dragon!
Unreadable glyphs mantle this ancient pillar. Brick... Unreadable glyphs mantle the... The dragon rakes the earth, ice cones, quakes from the impact knock you back. The freed dragon looks sick and pale. As you approach, he stretches his tattered wings weakly and fixes his intense gaze upon you. Frozen tears glint in his eyes.
My gratitude for your efforts, friend. Yet I am no more free now than I was in those chains. Please, help me find true liberty, or sing me to the endless slumber. But of course, that must be why you stand before me. Slain called to the Lord of Death, and here you are. A coincidence? Ah. My fate, it seems, is not my own to call. My soul is bound to joyless obedience. Purged at my source by the wickedest of witches, I stand in thrall to her every whim. She has only to command, and my traitorous body complies. The witch Rebecca. I was in love with her once. For the smallest slight, really a trifle, she wielded a purging wand against me, enslaving me to her will. Now only my voice remains my own. Allow? I did not choose this. As I am quite sure, you did not choose any number of indignities in your own life. Least of all your presence on this hellish isle. She trekked far underground beneath a nearby tower seeking ingredients for her vile potions. I can feel her dark heart beating within my own even from here. I await her return, yet I would prefer to welcome death in the sight of her face again. That you would even ask such a question of a stranger already in your debt. There is much goodness within you, but this task would not be easy. Rebecca is a canny one. Cat to your mouse. She consumed all my source with her purging wand. You would have my gratitude, and whatever aid I could then offer to you.
What's this? It looks strange. Are my eyes fooling me? What's this? It looks strange.
You see a glimmer of hope flicker across Slane's eyes as he notices your approach. It's quickly doused with a practiced scowl of the oft disappointed.
Have you brought it? Or am I to remain a slave?
Slane rears back in eagerness, grasping the purging wand with razor-sharp claws. Before your eyes, the source from within the wand surges into his draconic form, filling him with a light so bright that you must shield your eyes from the glare. The blazing brightness dies down. Squinting, you now see no dragon before you, but the figure of a handsome lizard. A handsome lizard with the same eyes as Slane. His eyes still blaze, a piercing silver. A triumphant smile dominates his face as he bows extravagantly before you.
Slane, at your service. Neither. Both. If everyone thought like you, this vile place would be little more than a sunny island. Perhaps before we're done, we can return it to such a state. Knowing such a steadfast and noble soul offers help to those in need gives me great comfort. When you are truly at a loss, when you have no choice but to back down or perish, you will find safety in my shadow. This, I promise. All of my thanks are yours.
Slane smiles at you and turns to leave. He takes no more than a few steps.
So many Seekers lost, and more blood will be spilled before long. At least Hannah's safe at the shelter.
Welcome ally, Lucian be praised.
Gareth glances over his shoulder.
The Shriekers keep watch, and their gaze isn't the only one we should avoid. The murderer is here, Alexander. The butcher's in the ruins, beyond the Shriekers, and he's not alone, as well he wouldn't be. The Order keeps its god-woken leash. If I didn't know better, I'd think the gods themselves were your counsel.
He reaches for the wand, but pulls back before touching it.
Would that I could aim this wand at Alexander myself, to bleach his soul and sear his skin. No, this thing was birthed from a wicked era. What would Lucian say, seeing me confront one evil with another? Go, take down those shriekers.
You are awash with muddled thoughts, confusion, anger, sadness, loathing, a shocking absence of joy. Your grip tightens around the blade's hilt. You never felt such rage. These freaks, they are tearing the world apart. They must not live. Rivellon must survive.